Sunday Night Football could not have asked for a bigger stage to open the new season. Right out of the gate, Week 1 gives us Baltimore against Buffalo, a clash that feels less like an opener and more like a playoff game in early September. These two teams know each other well, and the memory of their meeting in the divisional round is still fresh. The Ravens walked away from that matchup haunted by turnovers and missed chances, while the Bills proved that opportunistic defense can carry you deep into January. Now, the script is flipped back to square one, a fresh season, clean slate, and the same championship ambitions on both sidelines. What makes this particular duel so electric is the combination of elite quarterbacks and franchises that have been circling the same goal for years, to finally knock Kansas City off the throne. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are not just stars of their teams. They're faces of the league, playmakers capable of rewriting games with a single snap. Sunday night is about momentum, about planting a flag early in the season, and about sending a message to the rest of the AFC that the road to February might just run through Baltimore or Buffalo. For the Ravens, the scars of that playoff defeat are impossible to ignore. It was a night defined by mistakes. Lamar threw interceptions he rarely makes, Mark Andrews had an uncharacteristically poor game, and the team as a whole allowed the moment to get away from them. This week, the message in the Baltimore locker room has been simple: protect the football. That has been Lamar's mantra throughout camp, and he said it himself in midweek media sessions: no careless turnovers. If Baltimore can control the ball and play their brand of power football, they know they have the weapons to make Buffalo sweat. The Ravens do face early hurdles in terms of injuries. Isaiah likely has been sidelined and looks doubtful. Patrick Ricard is still uncertain, and those absences could affect how Baltimore sets up its run-heavy schemes. The good news for them is the return of one of their key secondary signings, which helps steady the defense against Buffalo's aerial attack. Depth will be tested early, but depth has also been a strength of this Ravens roster. At tight end, at wide receiver, and across the defensive front, Baltimore has worked hard to avoid being one injury away from collapse. And how about those wide receivers? For years, the criticism around Lamar was that he never had a truly complete arsenal. Now, heading into this season, the Ravens may have assembled their best receiving core of the entire Jackson era. Zay Flowers continues to grow into a nightmare matchup. DeAndre Hopkins brings proven reliability, and Rashad Bateman looks poised to be the X factor. Bateman, in particular, could be a game breaker this Sunday. He and Lamar finally had a full season of health together last year, and their chemistry is showing. With defenses forced to commit bodies to Flowers and Andrews, Bateman could find himself in single coverage against Buffalo's weaker cornerbacks. That's where Baltimore may strike. But the offensive line remains a question. Tyler Linderbaum is a rocket center, one of the very best at his position. The concern comes at guard. Daniel Falale is massive and moves bodies in the run game, but he has struggled with quicker interior rushers. On the left side, Andrew Voorhees is still unproven after battling injuries in college and limited reps in the NFL. That makes the matchup against Buffalo's interior defensive line crucial. Ed Oliver has the quickness to cause problems, and the Bills also drafted athletic tackles who will be eager to make an immediate impact. If Baltimore's guards cannot hold up, Lamar may find himself pressured from inside, which is exactly where quarterbacks hate it most. The other side of the field offers a different narrative. Buffalo's offseason was all about defense. They were ranked near the bottom in third down efficiency last year, surrendering conversions at a rate uncharacteristic of a Sean McDermott team. They invested heavily to fix it, signing pass rushers and bulking up their defensive line, then doubling down in the draft with 5 defensive picks, including multiple linemen. This was a unit that once defined the Bills' identity, but injuries and age had chipped away at its dominance. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are no longer the young, dynamic safeties they once were. Von Miller and Matt Milano have battled injuries, and Tre'Davious White has missed more time than Buffalo could afford. The reset was necessary, and this game is the ultimate test. Imagine stepping into your first NFL season as a rookie defensive tackle, and your first assignment is Derrick Henry in the backfield alongside Lamar Jackson. That is baptism by fire. Buffalo's young defensive nucleus will have no choice but to grow up quickly, because Baltimore thrives on overwhelming teams with tempo and physicality. If Buffalo's new-look defense is to show signs of improvement, Sunday night is the perfect proving ground. The Ravens, of course, know how dangerous Buffalo's quarterback is. Josh Allen has entered that rarefied era of quarterbacks who can win games almost single-handedly. He has the arm to beat you deep, the legs to punish broken plays, and the fearlessness to extend drives on third and long. What separates Allen is his ability to create chunk plays even when the design breaks down. Against a Ravens defense that likes to bring exotic pressures, Allen's improvisation could be the counterpunch. Baltimore will need to contain him within the pocket as much as possible, which is easier said than done. And then there's the element of preparation. Both teams took conservative approaches in the preseason. Neither Allen nor Lamar saw significant snaps, and both squads prefer to keep their stars healthy rather than risk injury. That could mean a sluggish start, and in a game like this, whoever shakes off the rust first could seize control. Last year, the Ravens stumbled out of the gate with a 0-2 start, and they know how costly that was when playoff seeding came around. With 5 of their first 6 games this year against division winners, they cannot afford the same slow beginning. One subtle but fascinating angle in this matchup is the red zone. Baltimore and Buffalo were the 2 best red zone offenses in the league last season. They scored touchdowns at an elite rate once inside the 20. Their defenses, however, were middle of the pack. That suggests this game could come down to finishing drives. Settling for field goals is not enough when Lamar and Josh are across from you. Whichever team consistently converts possessions into touchdowns rather than threes will likely have the upper hand. Special teams might also play a sneaky role. Baltimore moves forward without Justin Tucker for the first time in years, handing the reins to rookie Tyler Loop. Kicking on the road in Buffalo is no small challenge, even in early September. On the Bills' side, Tyler Bass has dealt with soreness and has barely kicked in camp, while the punter situation remains unsettled. Add in the fact that Buffalo has allowed special teams touchdowns in 3 of their last 4 season openers, and you can see how a big return or a missed kick could swing momentum in a heartbeat. Defensively for the Ravens, the spotlight falls on Trenton Simpson. Drafted as the heir apparent to Patrick Queen, Simpson struggled to seize his role last season and was even benched in favor of journeyman linebackers. This year, he has been handed the job alongside Roquan Smith, and the Bills are sure to test him. Look for Buffalo to send running backs and tight ends into his coverage zones, forcing him to prove he can diagnose plays quickly and tackle in space. If Simpson hesitates, Allen will exploit him mercilessly. For Buffalo, cornerback depth is the question mark. With first-round pick Maxwell arisen on injured reserve, the CB2 role is unsettled. That could mean relying on a rookie or a backup against Baltimore's talented receivers. Even if Tre'Davious White is available, his health remains uncertain. That sets up favorable matchups for Lamar, who now has the freedom under coordinator Todd Monken to adjust plays at the line and fully control the offense. Unlike under Greg Roman, Lamar is trusted to read defenses, audible, and exploit mismatches. That evolution in his game makes Baltimore far more dangerous. And speaking of pass rush, Kyle Van Noy has become one of the most underrated stories in the NFL. Signed off the couch by Baltimore 2 years ago, he resurrected his career with 9 sacks that season and followed it up with a Pro Bowl campaign of 12.5 sacks. At 34 years old, he's been a reliable playmaker in the biggest moments. His duel with Buffalo's right tackle Spencer Brown, one of the best at his position, will be must-watch. Brown knows he needs a bounce back against Van Noy, who has given him trouble in past meetings. Pressure will be a theme for both sides. The Ravens piled up sacks in bunches last year, finishing second in the league, but they were inconsistent week to week. Buffalo, meanwhile, has invested heavily to reignite their front. Yet, both defenses face quarterbacks who are elite at escaping pressure. Lamar and Josh are 2 of the top 3 in the league at avoiding sacks once pressured, turning would-be losses into highlight plays. That means defenses must not only win their rush, but finish the play, a challenge that few defenses ever solve. This is not just a Week 1 matchup. It feels like the start of a season-long chess game between two franchises destined to collide again when the stakes are higher. Both want home field advantage in January. Both want to avoid trips to Arrowhead, and both know the margin between success and disappointment can be razor thin. That makes Sunday night not just a game, but a statement. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Rumors have been swirling around the NFL, sending shockwaves through fans and analysts alike, as whispers of Dawson Knox, the formidable tight end of the Buffalo Bills, potentially leaving the team, have gained momentum. Knox, who has been a cornerstone of the Bills' offensive strategy, combining size, agility, and an uncanny ability to find gaps in defensive schemes, has become the subject of speculation that is captivating the league. For years, he has been instrumental in the Bills' attempts to dominate the AFC, connecting with quarterback Josh Allen in high-pressure situations and turning crucial downs into memorable highlights that have resonated deeply with fans. The mere suggestion that Knox might seek opportunities beyond Buffalo has prompted fervent debates across social media platforms, podcasts, and sports talk shows, with insiders hinting at contract disagreements, shifts in team dynamics, and possible offers from rival franchises eager to strengthen their offensive arsenal. While nothing has been confirmed, the idea of Knox leaving has already started to affect the morale and focus of both the team and its supporters, with some envisioning a future Bills offense without the reliability and presence of one of its most prominent players. As the rumor mill churns, the potential impact of his departure has become a central point of discussion for analysts predicting the next steps in the ever-evolving NFL landscape, adding a layer of tension to the upcoming season that could redefine Buffalo's offensive identity. The speculation surrounding Dawson Knox's potential exit from the Buffalo Bills has ignited a storm of conjecture among league observers and fans, creating a narrative that is both tantalizing and unsettling for those invested in the team's fortunes. Knox, whose contributions on the field have often swung games in favor of the Bills, is seen as more than just a player. He represents a critical element of the team's tactical blueprint, blending physical prowess with an intuitive understanding of defensive patterns. The idea that he might leave has prompted discussions about how the Bills would adapt their playbook and redistribute responsibilities among remaining offensive weapons, especially in red zone situations where Knox's presence has been nearly irreplaceable. Meanwhile, rival teams are reportedly keeping a keen eye on the situation, with scouts and executives speculating on whether Knox could be persuaded to join a new franchise that promises not only financial incentives, but also a starring role in a different offensive scheme. As these rumors circulate, the social media landscape has erupted, with fans expressing a mix of disbelief, anger, and strategic curiosity, debating whether a move away from Buffalo would enhance Knox's career or potentially risk his standing in the league hierarchy. Each new nugget of information, whether from unnamed sources or cautious insider commentary, adds fuel to the narrative, making it increasingly difficult to separate fact from speculation and leaving the Bills' faithful anxiously awaiting official statements from the team and the player himself, fully aware that the next announcement could reshape expectations for an entire season. Amid this growing frenzy over Dawson Knox potentially leaving the Buffalo Bills, the internal dynamics of the team have reportedly become a point of scrutiny, with coaches, teammates, and front office personnel navigating the murky waters of uncertainty that such a departure would create. Knox, whose reliability as a target for Josh Allen has been a defining feature of Buffalo's offensive identity, has cultivated an aura of both respect and dependency within the locker room, meaning that his rumored exit is more than a mere personnel change. It could signify a shift in leadership and chemistry that reverberates far beyond the field. Sources suggest that discussions around contracts, playing time, and long-term strategic direction have been intensifying behind closed doors, with the front office weighing options that could either retain Knox or prepare for a transitional phase that might involve high-profile acquisitions or adjustments in offensive schemes. Fans and analysts alike are dissecting every interview, social media post, and press conference for hints about Knox's intentions, creating a climate where even minor comments are magnified into potential confirmation or denial of the rumor. The pervasive uncertainty has sparked a speculative goldmine in sports media, where debates about potential trade destinations, salary negotiations, and the impact on the Bills' playoff ambitions dominate headlines. As the story unfolds, the ripple effect on ticket sales, merchandise, and fan engagement is becoming increasingly tangible, reflecting how one player's possible departure can influence perceptions, expectations, and narratives in a league where every move is scrutinized for its long-term implications. The potential departure of Dawson Knox from the Buffalo Bills has become a magnet for speculation that extends beyond the team itself, drawing in perspectives from rival franchises, agents, analysts, and even former players who weigh in with their interpretations of the situation. Knox's combination of physical attributes, precise route running, and synergy with Josh Allen makes him a highly coveted asset in the NFL, prompting conjecture about which teams might aggressively pursue him if he becomes available. Among these discussions, the focus has been on the broader strategic implications. How would his absence affect Buffalo's offensive versatility, red zone efficiency, and ability to challenge elite defenses? Could a trade or release lead to a ripple effect in the tight end market, altering valuations and prompting other teams to make bold moves? Meanwhile, the rumor has created an almost cinematic tension among fans, who imagine dramatic scenarios of Knox suiting up for a rival team, potentially facing his former teammates in critical games and shifting the balance of power in key divisions. Sports media outlets have seized upon this narrative, running speculative pieces that mix data analysis with dramatic flair, assessing Knox's historical production, projected targets, and potential fit in various offensive systems. This whirlwind of rumor and anticipation underscores the power of a single player's status in shaping league-wide narratives, demonstrating how professional sports are as much about perception and speculation as they are about on-field performance. Every new development, every cryptic comment from insiders, and every rumor adds layers to the story, making the saga of Knox's potential exit a central storyline with implications that ripple far beyond Buffalo. As discussions continue about Dawson Knox's rumored exit from the Buffalo Bills, the intersection of player agency, team strategy, and fan sentiment creates a compelling narrative that underscores the high-stakes environment of the NFL, where individual decisions can have league-wide repercussions. Knox, whose career trajectory has been closely watched since his draft, embodies the blend of talent, work ethic, and situational awareness that makes a player invaluable to a team's identity, which is why the speculation about his departure has ignited not only curiosity, but also a sense of urgency among the Bills' decision-makers. Every potential scenario, from renegotiation to trade to free agency, carries a cascade of consequences affecting not only Buffalo's offensive planning, but also market dynamics, player valuations, and the strategic approaches of teams across the league. Fans are particularly invested, engaging in detailed debates over social media, podcasts, and online forums, discussing everything from hypothetical replacements to the psychological impact of losing a key figure mid-season or heading into a crucial offseason. Meanwhile, rival teams are reportedly analyzing film and projections, identifying opportunities to capitalize on the uncertainty and strengthen their own rosters. The speculation around Knox's future has become emblematic of the NFL's intricate ecosystem, where rumors can shape public perception, influence management decisions, and ultimately alter the competitive landscape. As this saga continues to unfold, the tension, anticipation, and intrigue surrounding Dawson Knox and the Buffalo Bills promise to dominate discussions, with every new leak, hint, or insider comment contributing to a narrative that has captivated the league, fans, and media alike in a story that seems poised to evolve in unexpected ways with each passing day. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.